The Local Show, sponsored by Victory in Motion, home of knee repair, not knee replacement, on NewsRadio 570 WSYR, on 106.9 FM, and live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. The Local Show features in-depth conversation with business owners, employees, and influential business leaders throughout Central New York, exploring their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in our growing community. The Local Show is produced locally by Zoe Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Back into it, back at it. You found The Local Show right here on 570 WSYR. Welcome to the weekend with Tom and Steve, Mother's Day weekend. And Steve, any particular plans with Gloria or your mom?
We'll go out to dinner.
Did you find a good place? Where'd you go?
I don't know. We're still, we have reservations, but we have reservations about the reservations.
Yeah.
So we will see exactly.
We've been to just about every place there is. I'm telling you.
You've been everywhere, man.
I've been everywhere, man. Even in Canandaigua, we went to that Inn at the Lake. We did Sonnenberg Gardens. Then we just don't know where.
Why don't you just tell Kelly to make dinner?
Yeah.
Well, how's that going to go?
You know, the thing is, the kids are not kids anymore. No. So they should be planning these things. And I try to keep just a toe in the water, but I start reminding them like weeks in advance.
Yeah, no.
And they just don't get it. But I think what Kelly said was, hey, why don't we just make a brunch here? And forego all the overinflated prices, and then we can eat what we want when we want on our own time, and then go for a drive.
That's kind of nice.
Maybe go out to ski.
Yeah, but you could get some nice. You could stop at your friends at Sparrows. You could get some whatever you want to do.
Right.
At a third of the price if you were to go
out. Yeah, because it just gets it gets nuts. I think a lot of people inflate those prices for Mother's Day. Yeah. Well, anyway, no inflation of prices here. We keep it cheap. In fact, you don't have to pay for a darn thing. We're going to talk with Greg Portzline right now. He's a certified arborist at Bartlett Tree Experts. Greg, how are you?
I'm well. How is everyone here?
Oh, all right. Still with the rains. Oh, my goodness, the rainy season. Now, I know this happens every year, but for some reason, I'm just looking at my plants, and I keep talking about that one Arborvitae that I planted at the end of the season, or the beginning, however you want to look at it, during planting season, near fall. And it was about 5.5 feet tall, and I was thinking of doing a whole line of them. So I wanted to see how the one acted, and right now it is just so brown. And I took the branches and I spread them to see inside, and it's like gray. So it's gray and brown, and I thought, did I kill this thing? It was brand new. Is it just because of the water?
You might have told.
Not necessarily. It was a brutal winter coming out. So, but that's the great thing about us is you give us a call, we'll come and we'll give you a much better idea. Being on site. But there are several issues that can go wrong with Arborvitae.
And let me, just for our listeners, let me just say that you could probably bring it back if once you analyze things.
Yeah, if it's a treatable cultural thing, which means is it wrong site, wrong place, too wet, too dry, or is it a biological thing, insect, disease, something like that.
Right.
A lot of times, we can certainly.
Where should a plant like that be put? I mean, does it need a lot of light, a lot of water, not so much?
So most evergreens, let's say 95+%, love full sun. There are several that don't, and most, actually almost all, don't like wet feet. So what that means is, unfortunately, in the greater listening area, we have wet feet, but you can pick the driest spot possible, not an arid, acrid spot, out by the road or anything, but a higher point in the lawn. So they get, there's several diseases. Most particular is Phytophthora root rot with Arborvitaes in wet spots.
And this time of year, you're not planting trees. That should have been done in the fall, right?
Well, spring and fall are the best times. Fall is the absolute best. Warm soil temperatures means root expansion, better establishment of the tree. Springtime's not bad either. breather, your attention to it is going to be higher than in the fall.
Yeah.
So we were talking a little bit ago about the sometimes the roots don't spread, and that's an issue.
Yeah.
Right?
So this is an industry-wide problem. We see it a lot with landscapers and homeowners, and people don't realize that trees are treated as a crop commodity. So they're grown en masse in farms. And they are plucked out of where they're growing, usually with a machine called a tree spade. And what that machine does is it bulks up the soil up around the base of the tree, and then it gets balled and burlapped, or it's grown in a pot and it gets mulched over. And by the time they're at the nursery yard, they're still in that pot or ball or burlap, and they get picked up by the homeowner or the landscaper. And a lot of times are planted too deep. There is a very critical part of a tree's physiology. It's called the root collar. That is where the transition happens from the bark or cambium layer to the root tissue. And if that gets buried, what happens over time is the tree will form roots and girdle itself, literally choke itself.
Oh my gosh.
To a slow, painful death. So this time of year, we see a lot of landscapers out there planting away and homeowners planting away. And it's very important that you get into that root ball and find that root flare. And a good analogy I always use for this is go out and see how nature plants a tree. Go out in the woods. Go to Beaver Lake, go somewhere local, Clark's Reservation, and pick a tree that's off the path and look at it. You will see every tree has a flare at the bottom. The roots, the top of those roots should be out. So a lot of times we see in landscapes too much mulch, buried too deep.
Yeah, but I mean, I would think deeper is better. Let's keep it safe. If I'm doing it and I don't know anything, I'm saying, well, let's cover it up. Let's put the peat moss and the dirt on it. It'll do its thing. But you're right.
People go for more of the aesthetic look than they do the proper planting.
Yeah. So and it's a huge problem, because when these issues present themselves in the tree, it's often an uphill battle to get them back. And we do have services where we come out, root collar excavations, where we open up that root collar using specialized equipment and get it above ground and cut offending roots. It's very, very common.
Love your example of look at trees in the wild. I mean, when you said that, I was thinking we walk around Green Lakes a lot, and you see the roots at the base on top.
I always say too, another one, it should look like an elephant's foot. You look at an elephant's leg, straight down, and flares way out.
And that's not true for every tree, or is it?
Oh yeah, every tree should have a root flare. Every tree. Now some are more pronounced.
Visible or
correct.
Wow.
Some are not as pronounced. Like your beech trees, honey locusts have very pronounced, sugar maple. But no tree should look like a telephone pole coming out of the ground.
Gotcha. Yeah, right.
And that is where you run into issues.
We wanted to plant some rose bushes. Any hints on how to do that and where and when?
So bushes tend to be a little more forgiving. Shrubbery and bushes, they can still, you want to try and find where that root tissue connects. But just make your soil amendments. We can come out and do soil samples to tell you or get you in the ballpark of what you're going to need. But roses, full sun, as best you can.
Right.
But no, just good quality soil and well drained.
Yeah, I know a friend that's planting some raspberries.
Oh, that's me.
Hey, tell me about that.
Yeah, so I just went and picked up some native grown raspberry. Well, they're heritage, but my kids, I have 3 girls, and they devour raspberries and blackberries. And I find that, though, generally, after all the hard work I'm going to put into this and getting them out there to pick them and everything, probably would have been cheaper just to buy them at the store.
Are raspberries on French vanilla ice cream the best thing in the world?
Raspberry cheesecake, the drizzle and cheesecake, yeah. So yeah, we're going to give that a go, and hoping for some drier weather in the next few weeks to get that done.
So certified arborist at Bartlett Tree Experts are here. All these things. This is the time of year. Get it right. Get some professional advice. Phone number 656-2323. In the air, 656-2323. No, that probably wasn't the song, was it? Bartlett.com. Thanks for joining us, Greg.
Thanks for having me. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.